Hello and welcome to It Started with Power Rangers featuring Sean and my good friend for today, Erin. For now. We are here to discuss season 1, episode 11 through 15. Now, let's start with our first things that we like to discuss, like our character development for our characters.
Character development. So, for the most of these characters this time, pretty light on what I would call character development.
Mm-hmm.
Except for one. We'll go down the line. So, do you want to start? Let's start
with Zach.
Zach.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Zach continues to dance.
Mm-hmm.
Loves it.
Mm-hmm.
Has not changed.
Mm-hmm.
We love him for it.
Mm-hmm.
He had something going on, maybe?
Yeah, he has a new girl that he's pursuing.
Angela,
yes. She is,
She is a little 90s dime piece.
Yeah, she's the 90s dime piece. She's got a little ass on her. You saw her working at
Everyone's
Hulu.
got ass on them now because everyone's got little thongs up their butts.
It's not a thong, it's a leotard.
Okay, they have little leotards up their butts.
It's a leotard. It was in style. That was the 90s, okay? Skin tight. Leave a little imagination.
That's more than skin tight.
Leave a little
That's
imagination.
That's like we're going inside at that point. That's like organ tight.
No.
I can see your bladder.
It's no different than you wearing a ballet uniform or whatever.
Except it doesn't go up my butt crack.
It does, actually, after you do...
Into my butthole.
Anyway...
This is what we're talking about. Welcome to It Started with Power Rangers, where we talk about buttholes.
Yes. The next person we'll talk about is Kimberly.
We'll do her last. Sorry.
I just love how she controls this.
We'll do her
we're
last.
talking about Kimberly.
She's got a lot of character development. I want to do her last.
I'm going in order of the morphs, okay?
All right, fine. All right, okay, fine. Pterodactyl. Okay. So, all right. Miss Kimberly, this was really her time to shine these couple of episodes, I felt like. We learned some things about her. Number one, we met 2 uncles.
Yes.
This round, which was interesting.
Uh-huh.
We met her uncle, Uncle Steve.
Uh-huh.
Uncle Steve flies planes. I'm not sure if he's a pilot or not.
Uh-huh.
But he does fly planes.
Yes.
For fun or for profit.
Right.
And, we'll talk about that in the actual episode.
Right.
But, Kimmy learned to fly a plane, guys. And if that's not character development, then I don't know what character development is.
Mm-hmm. She also turned into a bully. Mm-hmm.
Well, I don't remember that. All I remember was that she became very, very cool and awesome. And everybody was really upset about it for some reason. And then they made her change back. So I don't really get that.
Well, typical 90s stereotypes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like, being bullies or being not bullies or having things up your butt crack.
Mm-hmm. Yes. And dancing at the drop of a hat.
And dancing.
And
to solve
people
all of
always
life's problems.
falling face first into a cake. That's always, and that's a
and
typical 90s trope.
That's a very typical 90s trope. And everybody going, whoa!
Whoa! Exactly. And then laughing at the end of the episodes to that freeze frame. And then freeze frame. Yeah.
That was the freeze frame.
Yeah. Billy.
Billy also became cool and awesome. During the one episode. And guess what, guys? Billy found himself the worst human being on the face of the planet, but everybody has someone that belongs to them that they can work with, and I'm really glad that I know for a fact that it will not be her ultimately. He learned something about the kind of person. I like to imagine that later on in the episodes. This girl's name, her name is Marge.
Yes, I need to find something to read.
Which also, Marge?
Whoever the actor is, she was really bad.
Is that really the name we came up with, writers? Marge?
That's Erin's favorite name.
Marge.
You sure that's not your favorite name?
I'll have to think about it, but I'm pretty sure no. I love the way she talked.
She talked like this, so I'm reading the search sounds for GarageBand, and she said, voice, acoustic guitar, effects. Indubitably. Electric guitar, and bass.
Mitochondria.
Yeah.
That's the powerhouse of the cell, Billy.
She's our favorite person, if you didn't know.
I like to imagine that she was collateral damage in the next episode.
Correct. We blew her up.
Yeah.
Trini Kwan.
Oh, my favorite, my girl, Trini Kwan. So we didn't learn very much more about Trini this series, but what we did learn is we learned 2 more family members. Mm-hmm. She's got 2 of them, guys. Neither of them are her parents. Why we have met no parents yet, I'm not entirely sure. But we have met her little... It's her cousin?
Her cousin, Sylvia.
We've met so many... Did we meet any more cousins?
No.
We've met so many uncles, and we've met 1 cousin. Mm-hmm. But no
parents,
siblings,
no siblings,
no parents.
No parents.
Interesting.
None of the above.
That's a little suspect, but we met her little cousin. Her name is
Sylvia. Huh?
I almost said Suzanne. It's been 2 days since we watched the episode. Sylvia. And her Uncle Howard, the famous scientist.
Yes. Mm-hmm. It's very, very cool.
And I can tell that both of these characters are going to be very integral. Going forward. We will definitely see them again.
Yes.
Absolutely. And probably like they're gonna be like basically main characters after this. That's what I'd imagine.
Yes.
So very important things that we learned all together, I feel like.
Right.
But I will say what this well, no, we're not done. Mm-mm. You almost tricked me. Because you want to just talk about the Power Rangers sometimes. We're not done. We gotta talk about the true heroes of the Power Rangers.
Jason,
okay, he still likes martial arts. There we go, we did it. We did it, guys. Jason loves martial arts. Did you know that? Have you heard? Have you heard the word karate, judo? That's the word. Mm-hmm. Karate and judo.
Yes.
There you go. We did it, guys. JLS, Jason Lee, our buddy, our pal, our friend Jace. He likes martial arts. Mm-hmm. Moving along. So.
And that's it. And that's it. As of right now. So our faithful heroes, let's talk about Alpha and Zordon.
I and Zordon. I actually probably has the most interesting plot line happening right now, for real. I'm not even kidding when I say that. I'm only kidding a little bit when I say that. Most of it is truthful, where he is actually becoming like a little bit more human. I feel like every single episode, he's like just a little bit more. His like slang is coming along. Mm-hmm. He's always asking the kids to come around and like teach him how to do things. And actually, I find it like endearing for III to be doing that. So.
Alpha.
I told you already. I said you could tell me that every single episode. Tell me that every single time. I'm not going to stop. I don't care. So, Zordon continues to be Zordon. We did get to see Zordon for real in real life, though. And he definitely wasn't stock footage from Super Sentai. Entirely different actor.
Nope, not at all.
We got to see the real Zordon.
The real Zordon. Mm-hmm.
Wow. Mm-hmm. He fought bad guys with a squash.
Yes. And it was a screaming squash.
It was a screaming squash. Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Like a mandrake.
Exactly. He was, and he tells the Power Rangers to let the power protect you. Mm-hmm. And that's what he says on a regular basis. All right. Rita Repulsa.
She's still the baddest bitch around. She's the baddest bitch alive.
How are we feeling about Babu and Squat now? Babu had an episode.
If you can call it
He did. He had an episode.
Both Babu and Squat had an episode. And you know what Babu did in his episode? Guess, guys. He poured something into their drinks and made them drink it. And then Squat had an episode. Do you know what Squat did, guys? Can you guess? Squat poured something into their drinks and made them drink it.
But also Squat he had a full 5 to 10 seconds of saying.
You sound like Scooby-Doo when you
I know, but he sounded like Scooby-Doo.
He sounded like Scooby-Doo also, so that was accurate.
Yeah, so it worked out. It worked out well.
We also got to see some repeat footage.
Yeah, some repeat footage of them fighting the putties and something that wasn't a putty from the Japanese stock footage. So that was
thrilling, I think, is the word that you're looking for.
Yes, yeah.
Thrilling.
How do you feel about Finster?
I feel like I kind of have to apologize to Finster it was either last episode or the episode before that. It got a little bit heated between me and Finster. I keep wanting to say Fister, which is not.
That is the different type of thing. We're not talking about BDSM.
Not in this podcast, but if you tune into our other podcast,
which is it started with waxing that ass.
It is ass, and ham.
Exactly.
That's our other podcast.
Yes.
If you watch that one, we get into it.
Exactly.
So not right now. Finster. I want to apologize. I feel like he's bringing it slightly more now. Especially since I realized that Pudgy Pig was Rita's idea. Where if you let Rita come up with the ideas and be like, this is the monster that I want, where she gets real excited about it and is like, finally a good monster, it's a Pudgy Pig. So in this series, we got like the coolest, scariest monster thus far, my personal favorite thus far, and that was all Finster. I mean, he didn't make her up, but like it was his idea.
Yes, Madame Well.
Madame Well. She's very cool. And I wish that she would show up more, but I feel like that's not going to happen.
No, she looks like one of those, if you go into like a Chinese food store and like they have like that fancy wallpaper and they just like put like a nice, like those faces on the wallpaper of like women. It's scary and I don't like it.
She looks like a scary thing.
Yeah, I don't like it. Goldar.
He continues to exist.
Okay.
He does. He continues to exist. He showed up. There was one part where Rita was like, Goldar! And he was like, yep, over here. Like, as quickly as possible.
Yeah!
So he's a little bit of a simp, but that's okay. We forgive him.
We'll take it. Goldar, he'll have a life eventually. So let's talk about the episodes. So season 1, episode 11, No Clowning Around. My least favorite episode
and
of
my
Power Rangers.
favorite. What an odd couple. I don't know if it was my favorite, but it was crazy. That guy, who plays Pineapple the Clown? Do we know?
It is in the credits, so we might, and it's usually the same person that does like all the voiceover for it. I forget his name, but I do know that is this person. His name is Scott, but he just recently passed away.
Oh my gosh.
Yes, but he does the voiceover for.
I was gonna make a joke about whether he was in prison yet.
Yes, Scott Page Pachter. I'm pretty sure that is what his name is. Yeah.
Well, I am so sorry that he has passed away.
Yes.
But knowing that he has passed away, I'm still going to make the joke of if they ever finally did put him in prison, because he was absolutely terrifying. Legitimately.
Oh, you know what? The clown itself, no, but the monster, yeah, he does the voice for the monster, so that was not Scott.
No. The clown.
The clown.
The man who played the clown.
Oh no, we're gonna find that out.
Because okay, then I will still withhold because he may have also passed away, but
I don't.
I want to know whoever played that clown, the physical body of the clown.
Right. We'll find out in a second. But we also, so this is where we're introduced to Trini's cousin.
Oh, I can see the picture. No, it's pineapple.
We were introduced to Sylvia, Trini's cousin. They're all going to a carnival, and there's all these rides, all these people, and everything like that. And they're having a good time until
the CEO of Power Rangers was driving around and he passed by like a local fair.
Right.
And he walked in and he said, "I'm filming here." And they said, oh, "Okay, yeah, sure. I mean, you can bring your camera in here." And he said, "No, you don't understand. I'm filming here now." And he did. We'll talk about this later. And he did the most hilarious thing I've ever seen happen in this episode. That happened in real life. Where he just started screaming. He grabbed the bullhorn and just started screaming at everyone, "I'm filming now! Get out!" And everyone started full sprinting out, terrified, not even knowing what they were terrified of, asking no questions. Just run. Run, please, run!
Pineapple the Clown, his name is Vernon Ballesteros. Vernon Ballesteros. He has not been into jail.
They gotta get him.
However, he lives his life as a clown. So he's played like mimes and like a rodeo clown. And
I'm sorry. I mean all this with love because he was supposed to be terrifying in this.
Yes.
And he really succeeded.
Right. Yeah. So I think that was his goal. So he lives his life as a clown, and I don't like it. If you guys don't know, I am deathly afraid of clowns. I don't like clowns.
We faced our fears.
Two occasions, exactly. On 2 occasions, I was forcefully dressed up as a clown as a child, and I did not like it.
Why?
Because my mom said so, and I lived in the 90s, so that's where it was. She was like, "You're gonna be a clown." So there are pictures of me at age 4 or 3 or 4 and at age 7 where I do not like that. Vernon Ballesteros was also at Power Morphicon, which is a Comic-Con. Like
did they lure him there so they could finally arrest him for his crimes?
Yeah, so he was there. He's gross.
No, we love him.
No, he's gross. Fuck him.
No, he loves him.
So the clown decided, so he was evil, and most of the clowns were putties. So as a result, they were terrorizing the people, and they wanted to, I guess they wanted to capture Sylvia. And the clown kept luring Sylvia into like different areas of the carnival to lure her away from her cousin Trini. In the instance that Sylvia was taken by the clown, and then Trini finally catches up to them, and the clown sprinkles some glitter on Sylvia and turns her into cardboard. Into cardboard. She turned into a fucking cardboard sign.
Let's go back to 1993. How inexpensive do you think it was to make the 2 cardboards that they had to make? You go to Kinko's.
Yes.
And you give them a picture and you say, I'd like to make this into a full-size standee, please. How much do you think that cost back in 1993? Because I am actually curious. Did they break the budget on this? Were they like, whoa, this is like, we put half the budget for the episode into these 2 cardboard pieces we made?
I want to say that it probably took like it probably cost like $20. And $20
all together or each?
No, like they did like a front and back type deal, like
for $20.
For $20. But I want to say
so it was $40 altogether.
It was like it was like $20 just for that.
For both?
Yeah, for both sides. I think that
No, I meant because they did 2 cardboard things. There was one of Sylvia, and then there was one they made of a putty.
Yes. Oh, yeah. The $20 for each. $20 for each.
Okay, so $40 altogether.
$40 altogether. Because right now, if I go to like Staples and I get that done, Spending probably a good $50 to $60 for just one.
Yeah.
Maybe 80, depending. Like, because they're like color printer and all that stuff like that. So, that makes sense. But I am just very, very, very disappointed. And the efforts or lack thereof effort they made to turn her into cardboard. So they turned her into cardboard, and then Jason takes the bullhorn.
So this is the funniest thing I've ever seen in anything, let alone in Power Rangers.
Right.
So like, imagine yourself, you're like out at the carnival with your stepchildren and your soon-to-be stepwife. Your ex-wife is there, but you don't know this yet. She's like with her new man, who was the person that she was cheating on you with, but that's okay. That's kind of water under the bridge at this point. So you're just here to have like a good day.
Mm-hmm.
Like Daphne, the one stepchild, you guys have been having a little bit of like tension between you and her because you're like, like it's difficult. Her mother is gone now and doesn't show up as often as she should. So she's like nervous to get to know you, but you know that eventually you guys will have like, what's that one? The Dead Poet Society kind of moment where like you guys will bond over Emily Dickinson or something and really like figure it out.
Right.
So like you're helping Daphne onto like one of the rides because she's like a little bit nervous, and that boy that she likes from chemistry class is here in the other cart. So you help them on. You're like, no, don't worry about it. We'll like bond over this. And then you hear from off in the distance the sound of what could only be described as a teenager with attitude, with maybe a little bit. There's something in the accent that lets you know that they really like martial arts.
Right.
And they just start screaming at the top of their lungs.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody get out! There's a bunch of clowns! They want to kill you! Get out! What would you do? Because I'm going to be honest and say, like, write down in the comments below, what would you do in that situation? Because what I would do in that situation is probably keep living my life. I would turn to Daphne and be like, do you know him? Do you go to school with him? And she'd be like, no, there are no schools in Angel Grove. There's school buildings, but we just, like, walk in there in our little costumes with the leotards up our butt.
Mm-hmm.
And you'd be like, yes, I forgot. I'm sorry. We live in Angel Grove. It's like the Truman Show.
Right.
And then I would just, like, continue going, and we would, like, I'd try to convince her to talk to that boy from chemistry and try to avoid my ex-wife, who is present at the carnival, in case you forgot. What everyone else decided to do on this day was, as soon as they heard this small teenager with attitude start screaming, who they do not know, I'm assuming. There's no way that they're not looking at him being like, oh, hey, it's Jason. Like they're like, they just hear a voice from the heavens. Tell them to just get out.
He said, get out! Rita's taking over or some shit like that. And he's like, run!
First of all,
he's like, who the fuck is
Rita?
Rita?
Second of all, my first thing would be like, okay, like the water ice company? That might be okay. Like, what do you mean they've taken over? I might be alright with that. Is that the line?
Yeah,
Can you look it up?
He's like,
I actually want to know exactly what he said.
You guys run! Rita's taking over or something like that, or like Rita's attacked us. No, Rita's attacking us.
Look it up. I want to know exactly what he said.
She's Rita's attacking the fair. I want to say.
I bet you're right, but because you've probably seen these episodes.
I've seen
an
these
alarming
episodes. Amount. Don't judge me. But yeah, so he's like, Rita's attacking the fair. Like, hold on.
And everyone just starts sprinting. Full tilt sprinting. Like Naruto run, but with proper arm movement sprinting. Like they're almost fully sideways. Like they're fully tilted forward.
He says, attention everyone. Get out. Rita's attacking the park. It's a trap. Run.
Every single man, woman and child.
Ran. And they all ran in the same direction.
They all knew where to go. There was only one exit out of this entire carnival. People running, screaming, bumping into each other. You know at least one person was trampled on this day to death. Because when you in Angel Grove, when you hear a random teenager come over to Bullhorn and tell you that someone named Rita is attacking them, not even you, is attacking these like little teenagers hanging out, all dressed in like primary colors, all chilling out. You fucking run. Fuck grandma. In this situation, you're hanging out with Daphne. Fuck Daphne. You used your stepchild Daphne as like a pole vault to get out of the ride ASAP. Poor Daphne was left.
He was like, I don't know that hoe.
You realized that you were running alongside the boy from chemistry that she liked, and you were about to hit like a narrow way where only one of you could make it through, and you full elbow checked that child in the face to get away. Because Rita Water Ice was attacking.
So
that was so funny.
Yeah. So Trini takes Sylvia in her cardboard glory to Billy's laboratory.
This episode really is a work of art. As I'm thinking about it and remembering more and more,
yes,
this episode really was a feat.
Yes, the Rangers are working to defeat the monster, but Trini walks to, she runs, however, and
full tilt sprint.
Yes, with the cardboard in tow, and with the assistance of Alpha, begin to assist Sylvia in bringing herself back to life.
I mean, they're gonna pour water on her.
They poured water on her. So it's like reversed Wicked Witch of the West effect. And
they were talking about how that works, and I didn't.
Yeah.
I didn't understand it.
Yeah, they put some electrodes or something like that. What did they do? They put some wires up there.
Car start battery thing.
Yeah, they put some cords up and hooked her up, and then poured some water on her.
And when she was cardboard, that's fine.
Right.
But I need everybody to go. I mean, I need everybody to watch this episode that's alive currently, because it's a lot and it's very funny and weird and scary, but very memorable, I feel like. I mean, let me know. I feel like this one has to be an episode that fans really enjoy and remember.
Yes.
It would be for me if I had grown up watching this show. Yes,
I remember that episode vividly, and I remember this next episode, which was Power Ranger Punks. This is Babu's episode where he becomes the villain. So the kids start off, they're playing volleyball, and then, Kimberly walks over with a pan full of drinks. And she's like, drinks are here and whatever. And then Billy has this line.
I never thought that I would see sexism from the Power Rangers franchise, and I was very disappointed.
I mean, again, they were ahead of their time, but they also were still in the American society. So she came and she served.
I want to see Jason. I want to see Jason wear a little apron and make Kimmy some drinks.
Yeah, they served the drinks.
And that's not a shipping thing. That's a sexism thing.
Yeah, it's completely a sexism thing. So she served the drinks.
She made some drinks because she wanted to make some drinks, and she realized she made too many, and then she just walked over to the friends and was like, here guys, I made drinks for myself because I wanted to, because I am a free woman and I can do what I want. But if you guys wanted some of these drinks, I'm a good friend and I will let you have some if you want some.
No, but anyway, so they're playing volleyball, and then all of a sudden, the putties appear.
You forgot that Billy walked over to
Billy walked over to the drinks, and he says, those drinks look good.
Yeah, he said, but there was something in his face where I'm like, I don't know who I ship him with anymore, because he really thought those drinks looked real good. He was looking at the drinks. He wasn't even looking at Kimmy. He's looking at the drinks.
Yes, so
like, those drinks look good.
Is there like a fetish of being obsessed with like cups of juice?
Sean, it's the internet.
I mean, hey.
There's anything.
Okay.
If you could think of it, someone has a fetish about it.
Anybody seen that cup of juice?
That's what I'm saying. Like I'm telling you that. I bet you go deep enough in the internet. You find people like that, they're watching that scene.
That's fucking gross.
And they're like, I see myself in Billy. Billy is my favorite Power Ranger from the Power Rangers because of that one scene where he looked at this hot cup of drink, and he said what everybody was thinking. He wasn't afraid.
Lovely. And, you know, of course, you know, anytime the Power Rangers are doing something random, instead of the putties attacking random pedestrians, they attack the Power Rangers. So, the Power Rangers were attacked in order to distract them for Babu to drop this elixir in their drinks. While they're fighting, we noticed that they probably only did this in one take. Reason being, Erin, is...
So at the very end of it, where they're like, you know how they're gonna take, like, a couple of shots or whatever, like, they're, like, punching the air or whatever. Well, in that shot, Trini, my favorite, when she was taking her shots, she falls over. Mm-hmm. Like, she goes to, like, punch back over, and she fell. Like, she, like, twisted around one time, whoa, and fell. But I could tell it wasn't on purpose because she didn't go, whoa. She just fell, like a normal person does. Mm-hmm. So, I was like, oops. And then, when she got up, because she had to get up really quick, because apparently she had one of the next lines coming up. So, she was like, I gotta get up. So, she got up. And I felt so bad because you know that she accidentally breathed in some sand when she fell. So, like, she got up and she went to go speak and she's like, I thought it was, and then she said whatever her line was.
Yes.
So that was actually kind of sad. But that's like, I had one more thing to say about the clowning episode just because we're talking about this. Where, go back and watch the clowning episode. Go back and watch this one because you can see that mistake. I'm sure that everybody noticed it, but if you've never seen it for some reason, like you're like me and you're watching along with me,
yes,
and enjoying. Go back and watch that. Go back and watch the other episode, No Clowning Around, also because when they're helping little Sylvia come back from being cardboard, and they're throwing water on her, they do a little gag. Where they, like, don't realize that Sylvia has actually turned back into a person from cardboard. And they throw water on her. Now, the character of Sylvia, I don't know if we mentioned, but the character of Sylvia is, like, a child. Like, she's a little girl. I don't know how old. Maybe, like, 11. No older than 11. No younger than 8.
Right.
She's, like, in that range. And, so they, like, have her sit there. And knowing what I know about, like, the background, especially at this point in Power Rangers and how, like... the working conditions were, they had throw water at this little girl, and you can tell, this is actually kind of not funny, you can tell from her body language that she did not like that, and not in like a you know, like a feisty way, like in a sad little girl way, that she did not like that. And if you look at her foot, I remember it's like her left foot or something, or her right foot, one of her feet, it, like, shivers. She is cold. Right. And they threw water on her. And I felt really bad.
Truth.
So anyway, that was kind of not funny, but I felt bad. I watched that and I saw that and I was like, oh, this poor little girl, they threw water at her. And it's probably really cold water. Or it was really cold wherever they were. I want to know more about that because that did not seem very good.
Right.
And then the other one, it's like slightly more funny. This other one with Trini falling and breathing in sand, but I also feel bad.
Yes. Well, also after the fight with the putties and after the drinks were, you know, poisoned or whatever you want to call them.
He put like Kool-Aid in it.
He put like Kool-Aid in it. He put his Babu Kool-Aid in it. And Kim and Billy drank some, and automatically well, not automatically, like immediately, they become
10 times cooler.
They become bullies.
10 times cooler.
I'm putting air quotes. Bullies.
What they actually become is punk nonconformists to the system.
Correct. And the next day they go to school. Bulk and Skull, their locker has been, or was it just Bulk's locker has been vandalized, and it's been stuffed with stuff. And Kimmy and Billy are coming down the stairs, playing hard asses. Mm-hmm. Like, hey man, watch where you going. What are you looking at?
And Kimmy has the greatest evil laugh I've ever heard in my entire life, and that's not a joke.
Can we do a reenactment?
I can try.
Yes, go ahead.
Where she's like, she's like,
yeah. Yeah, so, and she has expressed interest in Skull, which, is very surprising to him because
he's gay.
Because
he's in love with Bulk. And maybe Jason and maybe Zach. He hasn't shown any interest in Billy yet, but maybe he will.
Yeah. So, it has been reported to Zordon and Alpha that, Billy and Kim have been, hypnotized basically with this drink, and they are bad to the bone. So they have teleported all of them.
They're so cool.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not kidding. She wears this little like one piece jumpsuit thing. Mm-hmm. I love it. I want it.
It's hot.
It is, and her hair's all teased up. I like it.
Yeah, they've worn this costume. This costume is very, and then Billy has this bandana on top of his head.
He looks so good.
And
I
then,
could tell.
This cut jean jacket.
That's what David Yost is like in real life. I could tell right away. I was like, I'll say Amy Jo Johnson. She looked a little bit I'm not gonna say uncomfortable, but that she's not used to being that way. She was playing against type by trying to be like a bad girl, So, but David Yost, he was that's who he is. That's the human being David Yost is. Billy is the character. It's like the Superman Clark Kent thing,
mm-hmm.
and the Batman Bruce Wayne thing,
mm-hmm.
where it was like Billy is the character.
Mm-hmm.
Billy is pretend. Bad Billy, sexy bad Billy, that's who David Yost is.
Correct, Amundo.
He's hot.
So they
when she said the thing with Skull, I wanted, because she was like, "Hey, you're my kind of man.
Uh-huh.
Let's go on a date on Saturday." That was Kimmy. I wanted Billy, because he went up to Bulk, to be like, "Hey, Bulk, you're my kind of man. I want to take you on a date on Saturday."
He's like, "I just want to wax that ass, just just take you out on the town,
Because I would ship Bulk and Bad Billy.
And we'll handle some business. The non-hypnotized Rangers morph because some frog, nasty monster has decided that he wants to take over. I remember this episode vividly, specifically because of this monster. The monster has the ability to grab them with his tongue and consume them, and as a result, a picture of them shows up on his belly. Yeah. So I do remember that. They apparently get some green elixir to as a antidote to the hypnotized Rangers. They give it to Billy and Kim. They are disgusted by how they look, and then they morph, and then Kimberly saves the day with her power bow.
Yes. This was a very Kimmy, like I said before, this is a very Kimmy time.
Right.
This was Kimmy's time to shine.
Right.
And she did. Shine, she did.
Yes. Moving on to episode 13. with peace, love, and woe.
Madam Woe.
Madam Woe.
Such high highs with Madam Woe, and such low lows with Margie.
With Marge. So we are introduced to Marge, who probably acted for the first time in her life on this show. They probably found her on the street.
I want to say, Marge, no hard feelings. Actress who plays Marge, no hard feelings. None at all. I'm sure you're a lovely person, unless you're not. Unless it turns out that she's not.
Right.
And she had some kind of controversy I don't know about.
It just, she was very much, wow, imagine, amazing. Erin, you're wearing a green shirt. It's beautiful.
I'm wearing a green shirt?
A green shirt. It's beautiful. I'm Jojo Siwa. Season 5.
We loved it.
But yeah, you're wearing a green shirt.
That should be our next one. We watch Dance Moms.
Dance Moms? I think that will be ideal. That will be a little hard for me.
That or Code Lyoko. Do you want to watch Code Lyoko with me? Did you watch Code Lyoko?
I've seen Code Lyoko.
Dang
yes.
it!
Yes.
Shoot. If you like Code Lyoko, go watch that.
Yeah, good shit. So Marge is interested in Billy. Billy is interested in Marge. The gang attempts to get him to ask her out. But before he asks her out, Marge asks him out to the dance. And he
in the most annoying way possible.
Hey Billy, I've got to go.
I would love to accompany you to the social gathering.
Exactly.
That's not what she said.
Right.
That's basically what she said.
But before he wanted to meet her at the park in a special spot. And
Make out Reeve?
Yes. And once she got there and she was waiting for him, Rita, with her evil ass, summons Madam Woe. Now, Madam Woe is an evil heifer from the past.
She's from the past?
She's from the past. She's not one of Finster's creations.
No, I know, but she's from the past?
She's from the past. Okay? Madam Woe. But Madam Woe is not too bright. Okay? So, Rita told that heifer, she said, listen, I want you to find the Blue Ranger, and I want you to take him. I want you to take him hostage. Madam Woe gets to the location, and she sees the first person she attacks the first person she sees in blue. And who happens to be in blue? Marge, because she's impartial to blue. And then Marge is like, what are you doing here? Why are you here? What did I do? And Madam Woe snatches that heifer up. And then takes her to some sort of, what is it, like a fucking cave or something?
Like a creepy forest cave.
Creepy forest cave or whatever. You will see this cave be used several times throughout the series.
It already was used by the Skeleton Man.
Exactly. It's just a standard.
The Skeleton Man's house.
Yes, it is very, very true. So they take her hostage, and then we find out. So Billy is like, well, I was looking for Marge and I only found her little necklace, and where the fuck is she? And they go to command center.
He was
and
like, oh, phew.
Yeah.
I thought I had to keep pretending like I liked her.
Exactly. So then they transport her. They find her. They go to fight Madam Woe in this cave lair or whatever, and save Marge, and then happily ever after.
For the last 2 minutes of the episode until the next one, where everybody pretends like she doesn't exist.
Exactly. Marge never happened. Okay.
Yeah. No, I'm on board with that.
It's a standard. It's a standard.
Again, no hard feelings.
No hard feelings.
Actress.
But hard feelings. Now, our next episode, which is episode 14, we have Foul Play in the Sky.
Oh my goodness. I liked this episode.
Yes, this is the episode. This is centered around Kimberly as well. Kimberly is going flying with her Uncle Steve. That's Steve, right? Steve, right?
Yeah, no, it's definitely Steve.
Uncle Steve.
Uncle Steve.
when she's en route to go and...
Uncle Steve was kind of cute. I just feel like I need to say that before we start. Continue.
Okay. Uncle Steve is taking Kimmy on a little plane ride because
Why
he's
did you
either...
say it like that? After I just said Uncle Steve is cute. That's her uncle, Sean.
Oh, goodness. I was just stating what was happening.
I know. I'm being
Trout
a bitch.
mouth heathen.
I'm being a bitch. Sorry.
So Uncle Steve is taking her on a plane ride. Before she even gets to the plane, Bulk and Skull appear.
The true heroes of Power Rangers.
Bulk and Skull are nudges. Bulk and Skull asked to go on the plane ride. Kim says there's no room.
I want to know what was going through Uncle Steve's head, because these two dudes show up and they're like, "Oh, hey, well, we want to go on the plane ride with you." I mean, I love Bulk and Skull, don't get me wrong, but that is what they sound like. And and you know, your niece is like, seems really uncomfortable and is like, no thanks. And then he takes it upon himself to be like, "No, Kimmy, don't be a silly Billy. Of course there's room." As she continues to like look at him and like make movements with her hands and her head, being like, no. And he's just like, "The more the merrier." And I'm like, that's strange. I don't really understand Uncle Steve's mentality. But I mean, I was happy that they got to go.
Yes. So the gruesome twosome joined them on the plane ride. And somehow there was another elixir from Squat. That's where he was.
There's like a theme for every 5 episodes we watch.
Yes.
This one was a lot of Kimmy and a lot of poisoning drinks.
Yes, elixirs. That's what it is. It was just the elixir. So there was some drink poisoning going on, and he puts it in Uncle Steve's drink. And Uncle Steve's drink, he starts drinking it while he's flying the plane.
As
and then,
you do.
Yes, exactly. And he starts drifting, and then he drifts off. And then Kim loses her mind because he faints. And Bulk and Skull lose their fucking mind because he fainted. And that ensues some screaming. Bulk and Skull faint.
They don't just faint, they decide to faint. They have a conversation about it.
Yes, they decide to faint.
Listen, they have shown some, I just want to say, they have shown some problematic behaviors specifically when it comes to like the girls, where there have been a couple times where they're like grabbing them and things, and I don't like that.
Right.
And I just want to be like clear about that and say I don't like that. But also, these characters are not real people, and they are creations of people who like write the scripts. So for me, I'm like, I want to believe that these two boys can be redeemed from their problematic behaviors, because it's still, to me, the main thing I feel is I'm like, they don't have any social abilities.
No, they had no. They've always been bullies, and they always were bullies. So in their past, they were bullies.
That's all that they know.
That's all they know. That's the
and you have to remember, this is 90s bullies, so it's different. 90s television bullies, they're more like a lifestyle than they are like mean people. Where it's just like being sassy and vaguely violent, but only in a cartoonish way and not in like an actually harmful way.
Right.
And just undermining the things that people do around them. That's just part of their culture. Right. So the only thing that I have to condemn, of course, is the problematic grabbing. And I don't grabbing makes it sound even more problematic. I just mean like it's like they grab like an arm and pull one of our favorites, Trini and Kimmy, closer. And I do not appreciate. No. But as long as that stops, and that's the one thing that was nice in this episode, is they did not do that. Right. They also did not invite themselves. They just begged. They were just like, "No, please, we really want to go." Essentially, they were like, "Oh, come on." And then for some reason, Uncle Steve decided to overrule Kimmy, which like is weird, but
it's the only way. It's the only way. Women don't know. They don't know
what they want.
They don't know what they want, and that's basically what it is.
Uncle Steve was like, "No, no, no."
And he made the decision for her. He made
silly Billy. You do want them to go.
Yeah.
But I did think that was like quite cute of them as a couple, to discuss whether or not they should be conscious for this, and they decided it would be better not to be.
Exactly.
And passed out.
Yep. So they passed out, and then Kim, of course, conveniently they pass out so that Kim could contact Alpha and Zordon, in the command center. So she contacts Alpha and Zordon. Alpha apparently is some sort of like trained pilot, so he explained to Kim how to land the plane and get them back to safety. In the meantime, the other Rangers have been notified that the Snizzard has tried to take over Angel Grove. So they say, and the morphs are getting real lazy right now, Jason is being real lazy with it. Like I'm really starting to notice, when the episodes first started, it's morphin' time. And, Jason's like, come on, guys, like, it's morphin' time. Like, it's very much like,
guys,
he was like,
it might be time
like,
for us to morph.
It's giving me very much like I'm ordering a number 2 from the McDonald's menu.
I mean, but, like, once you fought one Snizzard, you fought all the Snizzards, and it just starts to become a day job after a while.
It's like,
Rita Repulsa again?
Yeah, like, he's very much like, can I get a number 2? Like, no pickles, no onions.
Can I get the Snizzard on the side?
Snizzard on the side,
Because they did not remember last time.
So they, of course, land the plane, and Kim runs off and morphs into Pterodactyl.
Pterodactyl!
Yes.
I like that you waited a minute, because you were waiting to see if I would do that.
Yeah, of course. And they defeat the Snizzard, as they should.
Kimmy learned a life skill.
Yes, she learned how to land a fucking plane.
She saved those 2 little bullies' lives.
Right. Wait, I forgot to mention too, in episode 11, when Zach was on fucking stilts, and Kim comes up with whoever the writer was that wrote the line for Kim that says, "I could never do that, yet you do flick-flacks on a 4-inch beam where you can cooter smash that." Like, you could never do that. Get out of here, lady. Like, who are you fooling?
But she's a woman, Sean.
Okay.
I'm allowed to say that.
Yeah, okay. You're full of shit.
I'm allowed to say that. She's a woman, Sean. Yeah. Of course she couldn't. That would be silly.
So the Rangers defeat the Snizzard, and then we move on to episode 15, which is the Dark Warrior.
The Dark Warrior.
This is where we meet Trini's Uncle Howard. Uncle
Howard, the famous scientist.
Yes.
Which, as everybody knows, when you introduce like a family member, you introduce them as as uncle or aunt or grandma name, and then what their job is,
right,
and whether they're famous or not.
Uncle Howard has an invisibility formula, which
Uncle
Rita
Bob,
wants
the
to...
not famous Starbucks barista.
Which Rita wants to steal. So she summons the putties to come down to steal it. As usual, they come out dangling.
I was about to ask you, what are they dangling?
And they go...
I don't like it.
They have scary faces. Though I was not scared of them growing up, so I don't know. Maybe they're not. They look much more scary now.
It's because now you know what you're looking at.
Okay.
Before you didn't. Before you were like, these are like literal monsters. So these are just what those monsters look like. Now you know that they're grown men. And you're very aware that they are men. Grown men in morph suits. Talk about it's morphin' time.
It's morphin' time. So the putties then attempt to steal, and they take away Uncle Howard as well. Uncle Howard has also Billy is working to get what do we call that in karate? Is it like a certification? Is it he's getting a new belt?
Yeah,
so,
what is like a new belt?
It's a new level in karate.
My brother used to do karate. I think it's it's like belts or degrees.
Exactly. So he has gradually,
and then you go other degrees. My brother was like a 3rd degree black belt by the end.
Billy has now a part of his arc is he has improved on his fighting skills. So little by little, he is no longer scared of these putties.
Good for Billy.
Yeah, he's been working hard.
You know who wouldn't have been scared of those putties? Bad Billy. I want Bad Billy back.
But I don't want to hear his voice.
Yeah, okay.
Man, I just want to thank you. You're just an asshole, man.
We could have Billy's regular voice, but Billy just dresses like Bad Billy. And has the same swagger as Bad Billy. And the same haircut as Bad Billy. And gets to go on a date with Bulk.
Okay. So, as a result, Billy, Uncle Howard is captured, and they now need to make attempts to save Uncle Howard. Uncle Howard gets saved. They kill the Dark Warrior, which is also a very scary fucking animal, monster. He's just.
It might be animals. Do you think they are? Or I guess maybe.
Some of them. Like, I mean, like, we had, like, the pig. The scary ass pig.
No, it's not his name.
Pudgy Pig.
The Pudgy Pig.
The Pudgy Pig.
Thank you.
The Pudgy Pig.
Thank you for putting some respect on it.
Okay, I'll put some respect on his name. The Pudgy Pig. And, you know, it's alright. I mean, whatever. The Dark Warrior gets defeated as well. But the funny thing I wanted to talk about this episode is when Uncle Howard sees that Bulk and Skull are like belly bumping Billy. You know, they're like, or chest bumping. It's belly.
I forgot.
So Uncle Howard drinks some of his invisibility potion or formula, whatever, and proceeds to beat both Bulk and Skull's ass while being invisible. And there is how we end episode 15.
With an old man,
old-fashioned ass whooping.
Uncle Howard, the famous scientist.
Mm-hmm.
Just like teaching 2 boys a lesson that I doubt that they will forget for a while.
Never.
But it's needed. It's needed. Because they need to be like like bruised and bumped around a little bit in order to learn a lesson.
Absolutely.
I'm still hoping for a redemption arc. So
exactly. Now, from episode 16 on, this is where the fire happens. Okay.
There's a fire?
Yes.
Who's committing arson? Is it Marge?
Yes.
I knew it.
So we're going to see some. This is when everything starts to get a little bit heavier as far as the characters are concerned, and as far as the storylines are concerned, to an extent. I mean, it's still geared towards the children, but we get more in-depth
more
look.
Dating.
Yes, more in-depth look of these characters, the monsters, how Rita becomes smarter, and her efforts to defeat them. It's going to be great, and I can't wait for you guys to see them all. So we're going to sign off right now. Thank you for listening, and we will catch you on the next one.
I can't wait for more dates.
Exactly.
Billy and Bulk.
Yes. Bye.